It's been a tough and turbulent year for Theresa May, but the Prime Minister is still standing and may last out until the end of the decade. Here with me to discuss the Prime Minister's prospects and the future of the Tory party at the end of 2017 is Janan Ganesh, our political commentator. Are you surprised that she's still in Downing Street?
I'm astonished she is. I remember June of 2017 when she had just about scraped through into government, having called a general election that wasn't absolutely necessary. It looked certain that she would be gone pretty soon. She then made a series of other mistakes, mishandled the Grenfell Tower fire. The fact that she survived until the end of the year is impressive. The very likely probability that she will survive now for most of or all of next year is doubly impressive. And there's now the serious prospect that she will see through Brexit in March 2019 and maybe beyond that, and the negotiation of a free trade agreement.
So how do we explain this? Should I be quoting or misquoting Margaret Thatcher's famous dictum, Tina, there is no alternative?
There is no alternative. The plausible alternatives are either unavailable, such as Ruth Davidson, who leads the Scottish Tories, or they're a little bit tainted, which is what has happened to Boris Johnson over the course of this year.
Or, as you wrote very well, too available.
Too available. He's nothing but available, but that it doesn't help him if his credibility has diminished, and I think it has a little bit over the course of this year. So there's no alternative, but I think the single biggest factor in keeping Theresa May as Prime Minister is the Brexit process itself. As long as that is not sealed and is just continuing, neither side of her party has an incentive to get rid of her. Because if you're a soft leaver, which is what the Remainers really are now, then you fear that getting rid of Theresa May will bring in a hard leaver. And if you are a hard leaver, you worry that getting rid of Theresa May could plausibly bring down the government, cause a lot of chaos, and you never get any form of Brexit at all.
Now, we got through the first stage of the talks. Very difficult to agree the divorce terms, particularly that bill, which is a net maybe 50 billion euros, 45 billion euros, and living under European Court jurisdiction. But we've still got to now figure out stage two, the so-called end state, the future relationship between Britain and the European Union. Is there not a danger that this cabinet, this government, founders on the rocks of stage two?
Yeah, I think it's the most likely cause of intense disagreement in this government. We've got a number of cabinet ministers who really want a pure exit, which would be something like a Canada deal, which is a minimal free trade deal, maybe with bits of services added to it if they can possibly negotiate that.
Yeah, because it's just about goods, really.
Yeah, and it misses out the principal strength of the British economy. And then other cabinet ministers who want a lot more alignment with the European Union, and some who may even argue for a position within the single market, which would be something like the Norwegian option. Those are quite distinct outcomes. The cabinet has avoided falling out over them because they haven't had the discussion. They are now having the discussion. They'll have to reach a decision by, I think, February in the new year. And that, I think, is the biggest fault line within the UK government.
But as somebody who's familiar with this process and the workings of government said to me the other day, it's time to drop the pretense that we can still, Boris Johnson's phrase, have our cake and eat it. We're getting very clear signals from Brussels. Michel Barnier, the chief negotiator this week, warning Britain that it can't pick and choose.
This signal has been sent from the European Union really since the beginning of the whole Brexit process. Michel Barnier has said it, Manfred Weber, the German MEP, has also said it. There's no incentive for the EU to allow a member to leave and retain most of the principal benefits of single market membership. And yet we've ignored that message. London has ignored that message ever since. And that fits a pattern of British behaviour vis-a-vis the EU going back decades. We never quite take them at their word until it's too late and we end up signing up to something that we thought was eminently avoidable from the beginning.
So your bet is that Theresa May does serve out her full term?
I would say that she serves out the Brexit process, which is March 2019, and it's conceivable she goes beyond that. But given the events of the past few years, I think any prediction is foolish.
Janan Ganesh, thank you very much for that review of 2017.
Thank you.